Shawty know she bad, she know she bad. She got it going on and I'm loving that. Looking at your body, that's a masterpiece. I want the whole cake, I don't want a piece. Shawty know she bad, she know she bad. She got it going on and I'm loving that. Looking at your body, that's a masterpiece. I want the whole cake, I don't want a piece. Girl, you got me thinking about you.
You're surprised with some of that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's
It's unreleased. It's unreleased.
you know, like how in news, ikishanga, then guys are talking. So I'm like, yo.
That's some unreleased music. I'm planning.
I was telling him, I was like,
damn.
I have heard enough songs
to know which Chai songs. I performed it at our last show though. And then you asked me like,
to be honest, last show nilikuwa, but I asked you.
but yeah, you are like, yo, why are you performing unreleased songs? Literally, that was the communication we had.
This is your manager. He's asking
Yeah,
you.
he's asking me proper questions. But yeah, I'm planning on releasing the tape late this year, around December.
That's dope.
Damn, I shouldn't
shout
have said
out,
that.
shout
I'm not planning on releasing a
There's
tape.
no
soon.
tape.
There's no tape.
Shout out to Chai releasing a tape this December.
You know what? I'm not gonna pretend like you didn't even listen. He said tutu. He said tutu. That's a new one now. We'll have to include it there. You know?
mixes.
Exactly. But anyway, guys, welcome back to episode 21. It's been if you're in Kenya, you know it's been an interesting period between our last episode and this episode. So I'm glad to be here. Glad to share the episode with you guys. Glad to be with the team that you guys can't see in the background, but the team is here as well. And I mean, today we have a very, very, very interesting topic. But before I go into that, I just want to like more or less reflect on the topics that we've done. Because before we dive into this one, I've kind of realized we are getting into instruments that we necessarily might not have hands-on experience with, but we are doing the research on, which is good because it means we are expanding from what we know.
We are diversifying.
That's a toot right there, exactly. We'll say toot for new financial terms. or
New
good
financial terms.
Exactly. That's a toot right there.
Yeah, whoop up is for ones you know.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Wow.
So, this is the Money and Youth podcast. I think we've done so many episodes, I don't even need to introduce a lot. I am with my guests, Mr. Collins Rotich and Mr. Thomas Ongaro. The episode is brought to you by this one. I actually have to talk Missouri. Please show them your jackets as I'm talking. Yes, like change your positions and such. So guys, this episode is brought to you by TDC or True Denim Collection. If you're a fan of high quality denim clothes, a bespoke process that includes you in the production process of your piece, and investing in made in Kenya fashion. Keep going. Why'd you stop?
The wave
And
went
investing
down.
in made in Kenya fashion, then TDC is the fashion house for you. Place your order today through their website at www.truedenimcollection.com or any of the socials. Thank you guys, you've done such a good job.
Thank you.
This episode is also brought to you by The Sharp Entrepreneur. One of you hold it, the other one point at it. The Sharp Entrepreneur is a practical learning resource developed by your mentor, more or less one of our directors. The name is on the book, Lucy Rariera. It's designed for high schoolers and more or less early stage young entrepreneurs. And the workbook walks learners through key topics such as identifying business opportunities, conducting market research, building more business models and plans. More or less, if you're a creative and you want to start a creative-based venture based on what you know, this is the perfect book for you. If you want it, comes with a t-shirt. Leave a message across any of the Your Mentor socials and I'll have you sorted out. Guys, good job, man. I'm very proud of you. I didn't see you. I was seeing you like by the corner of my eye, but you are doing such a good job.
Thank you. We try our best.
That was fire.
Yeah.
Hiya. So guys, today's topic is unlocking financial freedom, which has been our series up to now. But today's topic is the power of unit trusts for young creative entrepreneurs. The power of unit trusts for young creative entrepreneurs. So this one, unlike past episodes, a lot of financial jargon and terminologies zenye us as also people who aren't we aren't financial gurus or anything.
Kolo?
Okay, Kolo is probably a financial. I don't know about him, but personally, I'm just a young guy who is trying to make money, and we recognize these financial instruments as ways billionaires exist. So how can
I'm
we?
just a chill guy.
Nah, he's lying.
Not a chill guy.
Any chill guy, any person who says I'm just a chill guy is not chill, and that's a perfect example. So with this episode, it's more or less the same. So bear with us. If you hear something that you don't understand, it's for you to do the research as well. This is just us helping you to kind of understand the surface level of it. Then, as young people, we can grow together. So, my brothers,
Yes.
you know what time it is, yeah? It's time for some history.
It's time.
This guy. If you watch UFC, you know. But yeah, it's I didn't think that ahead, bro. That's actually pretty good. See, the problem with these guys, they are funny.
Spoiled us with UFC. You have spoiled us with UFC.
This guy talks to me about
Yes,
leg
yes.
kicks nowadays.
I just scroll a bit. I'm just seeing leg kicks over there. John Jones.
Yo, Dana White, we're trying to have you for an episode one day, man. And you-
Shout out Dana White.
Shout out Dana White. So, guys, allow me to give us a bit of history on unit trusts. Just like our past episodes, I'll start with global, continental, then I come back to Kenya. When I was doing research on this one, this was the most data that I came across in the episodes that we've been doing. Mind you, I come across a lot of data. The reason why I'm saying this is I have omitted a lot of things. I've only made sure that we speak about the things that I feel like is important, not just for us, but also our viewers. So, are you guys ready? You guys comfortable?
Yeah.
Toot.
Toot. Thank you. You guys are real one right here. So, let's start with the global contextual history. The earliest recorded instance of professionally managed investment funds emerged in the Dutch Republic in 1774. If you've been following, you will notice that a lot of financial instruments start from the Netherlands. Uko Dutch East India Company. So there's kind of that connection. And also, as we learn in this episode, there's a lot of relationships between these instruments. So it makes sense that most of them emerged from the same place. So much like the others, this one was from the Dutch Republic, 1774. This pioneering endeavor was led by the Amsterdam-based merchant and broker, I'm gonna butcher this name, Adrian van Ketwich, who invented subscriptions from investors to form a trust named Marked.
What?
One has KT, the other one has GT. The marked. But it's a Dutch maxim meaning unity makes strength. So just think of it that way. Unity makes strength. This initiative followed the financial crisis of 1773. And I'll call him Van. And Van's explicit aim was to provide small investors with limited means an opportunity to diversify their holdings and migrate risks. You said it. He said diversification before we started.
I called it.
Yeah,
I called it.
So, in the Anglo-Saxon world, the establishment of the Foreign and Colonial Government Trust in the United Kingdom in 1868 is widely recognized as the beginning of mutual funds in these regions. Same, it's spread out a bit to more of Europe. It's important to note that most of these early investment trusts were structured as closed-end funds, meaning they issued a fixed number of shares and that they were then traded on an exchange rather than continuously issuing or redeeming units directly from the fund. This means like Safaricom shares, for example, we can virtually buy as many shares as you want. That's kind of what gets the price of the company up. But back then, they would say that it's only 1 million shares that are there. You can virtually become a conglomerate by buying out everything. Through these collectives, mneza get a chunk of it. So that's what
Bitcoin.
Exactly. So the modern unit trust as an open-ended investment vehicle truly took shape in the early 1930s. So we've really jumped from
17.
Exactly. M&G, a British investment firm, launched the very first unit trust in the United Kingdom. marking a pivotal shift in global investment strategies. So before this, it was a lot more of the structures. It wasn't specifically a unit trust launched. Shout out to our colonial masters, Britain, for that. This inherent flexibility and liquidity fundamentally transformed how investors could enter and exit pooled investments, making them less dependent on secondary market trading and providing a more dynamic approach to capital management. This increased liquidity and ease of transaction with a critical factor in making investment opportunities more accessible to the general public. All that basically means that it was much accessible for everyday people to trade in these different instruments. Before, it was more or less designed for entities such as Dutch East India Company, specifically something like MG to trade with. But now, by the 1930s, the space was becoming more and more accessible to everyday people like me and you, and you and you.
I know.
So, let's now come to Africa. There's a bunch of things. Okay, something that I didn't put here, but it's worth mentioning. The American market is the one that really popularized open-ended unit trusts. Before that, it was there were open-ended unit trusts, but they were trading with very low volume, so it didn't make sense for most people to join them. But when we went to the US and the market there exploded, upon Osasai, we started to see a lot of these open-ended unit trusts that are handling huge volume. Now, let's come to Mama Africa, baby. And as always, the pioneer in the continent. Ese, baby. South Africa. We see you doing it over there. Them senses. So, South Africa stands as the pioneer in African continent concerning the establishment of unit trusts. The nation's first unit trust was officially launched on June 14th, 1965 by Sage. Sage is the company. The founder of this company was called Louis Schill. But unlike other unit trusts around the world, this one was heavily... This guy, Louis Schill, worked with South Africa's financial authorities at the time. Because there was no such thing within the continent. They had to make sure it's done correctly. Which is unlike most of the others, uko nje, because, I don't know. Those guys, they are just bold with how they use money. Here we are still learning boldness with how we use money. So, consistent with the global principles, unit trusts in Nigeria now function by pooling small sums of money from individual investors for professional management within diversified portfolios, offering benefits such as diversification and professional oversight and low costs. The reason why I shifted immediately to Nigeria is to kind of show you how unit trust within the continent isn't an instrument that has exploded as much. If you look at our past episodes, you'll notice I have so many examples. There's this country, this country, this country. For example, in the East African community, I think it's only Uganda that is actively, there's a proliferation of unit trusts and how they are marketing them and such.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of research. It was Ugandan unit
trusts.
trusts.
Videos were about Ugandan, the stations that were Ugandan stations presenting. So yeah, you're right.
So now, there are markets like Rwanda, Burundi. Some forms of these unit trusts exist, but they haven't grown to the level where investment, with most of these tools, the volume is kind of what makes it worth conversating, worth investing in. Yeah. So I haven't mentioned the other African countries for that particular reason. Finally, let's come to Kenya now. Kenya's initial legislative foray into the realm of collective investment schemes was marked by the enactment of the Unit Trusts Act of 1965. This legislation remained applicable until the year 2000. A pivotal moment in the development of Kenya's financial markets, including unit trusts, was establishment of the Capital Markets Authority, or the CMA. The CMA was brought into being by an Act of Parliament on December 15th, 1989, and officially inaugurated in March 1990. The authority was vested with a dual mandate to regulate and to facilitate the development of orderly, fair, and efficient capital markets across Kenya. Now, most of these, as we'll notice when we go into the topic, unit trusts and MMFs and bonds, there's a lot of similarities. So now when the country was developing these authorities to more or less manage them, there could have been unit trusts developed before, but we didn't have specific legislations for developing them until now, the 1990s. Now, this is why I'd put the first unit trust in Kenya was Old Mutual Unit Trust Scheme, which was launched in 2001. You get what I mean? Yes.
To one.
So you're talking about UAP.
Yeah.
You need
I
Gen
thought
Z.
UAPs.
For those you don't know, yeah,
Gen Z.
that's a Gen Z unit trust
Hey,
right
it's
there.
a Gen Z unit
That's
trust.
a very good way to sell unit trust.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, like
Wow.
as old as you.
Oh.
So yeah,
UAP, yeah.
the true turning
UAP.
point in the the true turning point in the modern unit trust industry in Kenya arrived with the promulgation of the capital markets or collective investment schemes regulations in 2001. These regulations effectively superseded the earlier Unit Trust Act of 1965 as the primary regulatory framework for collective investment schemes in Kenya. So now you see, established in 2001, Old Mutual at that time signed your UAP and Old Mutual merged to form UAP Old Mutual now. So that's why I don't want to
Makes sense.
say back then it was UAP that did it. Back then it was Old Mutual. Now as I wrap up, so what's going on in 2025? What's currently the unit trust landscape within the country right now? By March 2025, total assets under management, or AUM, surged to 496.2 billion Kenya shillings. That's like across all the different unit trusts. That's how much assets are being managed. 496.2 billion. That's by March 2025. That's a 28% increase from December last year, and nearly a ninefold increase from 2016 when it was 57 billion Kenya shillings. That's currently money.
Hey, yeah, marketing has been half.
Bro, I'm telling you. Plus also, I guess a lot of Kenyans are viewing these instruments as an avenue of making cash much more. The stigma of it's just for banks and organizations is ending pole pole.
Yeah, I guess also there's also been a lot of content around financial information in the past, like 1 year, like Dr. Kingori,
Us. Look at us, bro.
us.
Actually, no one else. We are the reason why.
We're the reason. 100%.
We.
Your mentor.
Your mentor.
So,
Me mentor.
Me mentor.
the second thing that's going on in 2025, there's over 2 million individual investors participate in CIS funds. CIS ni
Collective investment schemes.
Yeah.
As of March 2025. That is a 81% jump within just 1 year. Let me repeat that. Over 2 million individual
scary.
investors participate in CIS funds as of March 2025.
Hebu nunua shares ya hizi kampuni saizi.
And 81%. You've noticed
Their
these
return,
things.
their
1
financial
year.
report at the end of the year is gonna be mad. Put your money in these assets right now. The companies.
Yeah.
Olumuchol, Sanlam, Britam.
But as the last one is about now Sanlam. So Sanlam surged to...
Britam.
Shout out to Kolo's friend in Britam. We know you.
Britam.
We know you. So Sanlam surged to 90.2 billion Kenyan shillings. That is assets under management. They handle 90.2 billion worth of assets.
Sanlam ni 8 bob kwa NSE. Buy Sanlam pia. Sanlam na Britam. I'm giving you guys free game.
Britam is how much?
Less than a G investment. Britam is like 8 bob. I just got 10 bob. I've been buying them at like from like 5 bob.
If you're interested in...
Kipanda pole pole. That makes sense what is happening.
See, everything is connected, yeah? Now you're saying, if you're interested in knowing how to buy stocks, check out the stocks episode by the way.
Yeah, by the how to
We've
buy
really like outlined it vizuri. So, Sanlam currently, in terms of assets under management, they're number one, managing 90.2 billion. They surpassed long-time leader, CIC,
Shout out CIC.
who currently they are managing 87.5 billion Kenya shillings. And that's allowed Sanlam to become Kenya's top unit trust manager as of Q1 of 2025. So,
CIC.
I have given a comprehensive
The ones who have the building on Upper Hill. Sanlam is in Westland.
Sanlam wako na building in a big, but then also Sanlam has been doing a lot of brand activations. They've been sponsoring a lot of these events. Like they've been really putting themselves out there in the past 1 year. I can see the effort. Shout out to that whoever is managing the brand manager.
Shout out to the brand
Ako pali
manager
yako
of
drug.
Sanlam.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
I'm assuming.
Unassume ni dem.
Assume them. I apologize.
Nikaole receptionist wa CBK.
Oh my god.
Nikaole usiassume hizi vitu bro.
Umefanya mwanaume aanze kubeba bag.
I'm sorry.
Ataacha kazi aseme hapana zi. Mimi sitakuwa nikikito hivi.
Hapana.
But marketing is heavily dominated. I can see your
how we've more or less gotten to this. It's like an exploding industry if you think about it.
we're in a boom.
So
Buy the shares of the companies which are providing these products. I'm telling you the return by the end of the year.
before we even get to that, I've said a lot of things. I always say a lot of things. Like I be reading from my phone. And sometimes these words even made you understand what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That's why we have our finance specialist.
Yes.
Nah,
Our finance
I'm just
guru.
a chill guy.
Yeah.
Like Elon Musk wishes he was this guy.
100%.
Toot.
Warren Buffett
Shout out the OG.
dreams he was this guy.
Shout out Warren Buffett.
Can you tell us what unit trusts are in the most basic way?
I thought that was his question. I haven't prepared for this exam.
Try to throw me under the bus.
I wasn't ready.
Nah, you are our guru. if you can explain it to someone who doesn't know financial jargon, they just know the basics. How would you explain it to them?
I think I'd start with that term that you used, CIS, Collective Investment Scheme. So, a unit trust, think of it as buying a unit of a trust. And a trust is basically the entity or the financial product that, or the financial vehicle that is being used. So what happens is that investors, you'll see terms like this whenever you do like research on these financial terms. They say investors pool money together. So think of it like a pool of cash. Then this money is given to an organization. Then this organization decides how to invest this money on behalf of the people who pulled it together. So hii pali pesa imewekwa, this pool, this trust pool. I'm trying to avoid the word trust fund, but this trust pool of money, you buy a percentage of it, and whatever this trust returns, you also return. You get a similar return, of course, minus management fees and all of that, based off of how much you put in. So that's the easiest way to think about it. Think of it as collecting your money together into a pool of funds, and then this fund is managed by experts, and then they invest for you. It's very, very... I remember we did the last episode on money market fund, and it's more or less the same thing in the sense that all money market funds are unit trusts, but not all unit trusts are money market funds.
Can you explain that for like someone
So-
who might not understand what you mean?
Yeah, so unit trust is a blanket term for a number of pooled investments. So money market is a pooled investment that is invested in highly liquid paper assets, things like fixed income assets, bank deposits, treasury bills. So money market fund is a type of unit trust that is used for short-term liquidity and very stable returns. You know, you can withdraw within 2 days. Another type of unit trust is something known as an equity fund. So the difference is all this money is pulled together in a unit trust, but then where it's put in now determines the subsections.
Okay.
So if it's put in fixed deposits and treasury bills and short-term paper assets, that now becomes the money market fund. If it's put in equities being stocks, basically shares of companies, this could be companies in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, or even companies in, I've seen like Britam, they also do UG and Tanzania, if I'm not wrong, and a bit of international exposure.
I think they actually do. Eugene, I've seen the videos that they market mostly.
Yeah, so that's an equity fund. So basically they take your money, instead of putting it in government treasury bills or paper assets, they put it now in shares. So of course these two type of assets have different risks exposures, meaning that you'll get different types of returns. Then the third type is also called balance fund, and then the last one is now the bond fund. But I think we'll get into
Yeah, we'll
those
go
ones
into those.
later on.
Can you give like can you guys give like examples of just unit trusts that are operating in Kenya, so that even as the episode is ongoing, the viewer has an idea? Because even if they have the no, Thomas, start give us the first one. I don't like kierere yake. Thomas, give me your answer.
No.
You know when the teacher looks for the person who is in
not
making
put your
eye
hands.
contact, yeah.
You producer. Producer, tell us.
But yeah, give whichever just come to mind, so that moving on, as we mentioned them, the viewer can have an idea of, even if they've seen the company, they can know it does this, for example.
Very interesting. I mean, I'll say Sandam, as you said, and Britam. Those are the ones that I've watched videos on. And Britam, is it Britam or UAP? UAP, I think. UAP Old Mutual.
Yeah.
Yes. I was watching videos and they were very clear. Like, there was a time UAP was actually trying to engage, Old Mutual, not UAP, sorry. Old Mutual was trying to engage with children to understanding how to facilitate for them to know about unit trust.
That's so crazy, bro.
But you know what's crazy? It was very hard because it was a challenge for them. You know?
It's hard to explain these terms.
Exactly, because as Kolo has said, unit trust is just is the
Blanket
organization.
term.
Yeah, it's a blanket
I
term.
think maybe just to add value, because I think what I'm about to say will technically summarize the investments in like the last 10 episodes. Is it? Financial 6 episodes back.
Yeah.
So, see, the regulator need to a capital markets authority. So, I think even before going into these products, let's start with what the market is. The market is called capital market, because businesses, when they need to start, what do they need? Capital. So, where can they get capital?
On the market.
In a capital market. So there's different types, and I told you a capital market is only two things: equity and debt. So when you start a business, there's only two ways you can actually run the business. Either you borrow money to run it, or you put your own money. Borrowed money is called debt. When you put your own money, it's called equity or shares. So that's like the fundamental principle of all of these things. All of these things put money in businesses in one way or another, and sometimes governments. But nonetheless, it's basically people have a project, they need money, and they go to capital markets. Now, under capital markets, there's different types of products. One type of product is called a unit trust. You get. And now, just answering your question before I put which unit trust exists for like the common public. Enda to Google says andika Britam Equity Fund. That's one type of a unit trust.
Milipwa na Britam.
Enda Google saizi. Enda Google.
Me too. I was like, wow, these guys. See how Google you can pay to have the first search as like
Enda saizi. Britam. So you can go get Britam Equity Fund. You'll read more about it. You can just sign up on the website. There's Britam Money Market Fund. There's Britam Bond Fund. There's even Britam Balance Fund. So just you can go to Google and write those ones on their website. You can easily sign up. Okay. Shout out Britam. Britam sponsors.
Britam has all of those funds.
Britam,
please.
Britam.
him times 5. What he did times 5. So now that we have like some understanding of what unit trusts are, we have like a more generalized understanding of it. Thomas, I need you to more or less expound on why it's relevant for young creatives and also young entrepreneurs such as ourselves. Like, why should I care? It sounds boring. It sounds like a big company should be doing this.
Trust me, whatever sounds boring is the best. The boring things are the best. They're the best. They're easier to work with.
Especially in finance.
So, as young individuals, we need to embrace and increase our knowledge about unit trust. You know, we need to do our own research as young individuals. The unit trusts are basically a retail mass market. So, as Kolo said, it's the organization, the main organization, and then it gives you products that you can buy into. Now, with that, your knowledge that it's a mass market and there are more products, definitely starting from the unit trust as a creative, it's not going to be as expensive as the other products are. You know, you're given other products in the unit trust. There's money market fund, and we're in a money market fund. Chums.
Yeah, chums, yeah, chums.
Shout out, my
Shout
boy.
out,
Pius, we're coming for you.
So
Nabo Capital.
yeah,
Chris
About-
Kirubi.
Chris is Nabo.
No, Chris is a centum, and then Pius is a mentor mentee. Chris Kirubi was his mentor.
Oh wow.
And then now he became the CEO. And then now he was given now that wing for Nabo Capital. And then now became his own.
So Centum is the
I don't think so. When I did research, I don't think they're connected. But Ziko linked. I don't know if Centum owns or maybe...
But they merged.
No, they didn't merge. It was a product. So, you know what Centum does?
Yeah.
Centum is basically an investment company. They do different investment projects. So one of them they launched was now Nabo Capital, whereby you bring in your capital, we invest it for you as well. So then Pius became the CEO of this branch. But now I'm not sure if Centum started it or this guy started it. But ukigoogle Nabo Capital na Centum utapata ma story.
We'll get him one day.
Yeah, we'll get him. Pius Mushiri, please.
why creative.
By the way, if you watch this episode and you reach this part, please just go to the comment section. If you're on
Tag him.
Instagram, just
Tag
write
Pius.
at Pius Mushiri.
He'll see.
He's been ignoring us.
Yeah.
We'll come for you one
We'll
day.
text you direct.
One day at a time.
DM. Tutaslide.
DM.
Ama tutume ujumbe.
Unajua
Tutume
tuko na
salamu.
email yake pia. Tunaweza pata email
Ama
yako.
tutume salamu.
Unajua niliandika kwa TikTok yako na the secretary akarespond.
Okay, Collins.
I will find you.
It's personal.
But I wish that he did really help with this kind of conversation.
And he's a cool guy.
He's a very cool, relatable guy.
Yeah, he can
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
10. Anyway, why should creatives join this? Why should they be interested in the unit funds? It's because it's, first of all, it's very flexible for you. As I told you, you start off with small amounts. You can start off with as little as 100 bob to 1,000 bob, and you keep on saving up your money and still earn interest from that money. And imagine they give you interest per day depending on which unit fund, or per month depending on which unit fund you join. So imagine that you're getting interest on a daily. ZD wanapatiana interest daily. ZD is also a unit. It's also part.
Money market fund. Yeah, it's
It's
part
a-
of the
yeah.
unit collective investment schemes.
I think can we use like an example with like figures so that I'd want it to be very specific so that when they hear interest. So let's say if
Maybe the question is, how do we define interest? So like maybe just to define interest, remember what I was saying about capital market. We need capital for a business, either give debt or give equity. When you take a loan, what do you pay? Interest. So that's what it is. So think of it from the company side. The company takes this money, it will pay interest on the loan
because they took a loan from you.
As the investor. So they pay this interest on this loan to these organizations, because it's even like a bond is a loan. So they pay the interest on the loan. Then the organization that invested in that loan, they pay you interest based off of their return. So unapata, maybe they make something like 20, they give you something like 6, 7, 8, 9. Or unaweza pata some of them they whatever they make, they also charge investment in management fees 1.5 to 2% maximum. So interest is basically the interest on a loan, but then the loan is when umepea.
So when unapatiwa hiyo the
interest,
When unapea a percentage of the interest the company has earned.
so for example
unaweza kupata 7%,
okay
8% if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so if you go to M-Pesa and you go to ZD, I'm not paid by ZD by the to your M-Pesa app, they have different mini apps, and then one of them is ZD. ZD calculates interest on a daily basis. So ukieka 1,000 leo, kesho utakuwa na 1,000.09 or something. Unaweza pata there's those small amounts
so
that you
okay
earn daily.
100k the value
Yeah.
much.
Ukieka meter, it's like 300 bob. Ukieka 10M, it's like maybe a G, 2 Gs, depending on how much cash you've put in.
Maras ekeni pesa kwa ZD. It sounds
Yeah, but ZD, like I said, is 7%. If you want higher returns, utapata there's other institution like Zimele. I like Zimele by the. I like to talk about Zimele pairs pia. Zimele would give you consistently 9% to 11%. So that's on their money market fund, which is a type of unit trust. Like I think we need to keep on.
That's actually
highlighting
what
that.
we are going into next. So it's okay, you can.
Yeah, but nonetheless, it gives you 9 to 11%. There's CIC money market fund gives you also 10%.
Yeah,
Sanlam gives you effectively 11.3%. So that's even why they've been getting a lot of popularity. Then now there's this other equity funds and bond funds. Or they choose within 10 to 15. So depending on which one you choose and the risk exposure and of course the different terms and the institutions, there's different values. But continue.
And also, you've said there's different. I remember we were talking about this topic earlier on, and we talked about you being able to invest outside, like the companies that can help you investing in a unit fund outside and get a higher interest rate, like 20%. But that's research for you. You have to do that research. The next step is diversification. That's how it's gonna help creatives. Besides circles, us having our savings account,
Shares.
us having our shares,
Bonds.
investing into bonds. Besides that, you'll still need. You're already getting money, my friend. You've already started. You shall not stop. You shall continue and invest more so that you can, open your opportunities. You diverse your money into ways that
Different pockets.
different pockets, so that you can earn interest. Because plus, different places give you different interests. Different places get you money different times. Some you're not liquid, and some you are.
Very true.
Low entry. I already talked about the low entry barriers. So from 100 bob, you can save as little as 10 bob per day in your unit trust under the money market fund. Let me just be correct on that. Yeah, you can save as little as 10 bob per day, and it still earns your interest. You can still get that. You'll think of it as very small, but we've been saving as a team, and trust me, our interest is huge.
Yeah, it's much bigger when you do it once as a collective.
Volume of cash.
As a unit.
Trust.
Oh, wow. Lastly is, guys, it's a passive income. It's money that's working for you when you're not working. That's
a big reason.
Let's not lie. Besides Mandamano, when are youths always on the street? Okay, stop.
Bro, status is just over here, bro. They'll come and shut down the recording.
When you're at home, can you invest in the unit trust?
William.
Yes.
It's
all fun and games.
It's all
fun and games until they come for you.
Free my homie Thomas.
Wait.
End up that.
Wait, relax.
It's all jokes.
It's jokes.
It's jokes.
Yeah,
it's very bad.
I'm a joker.
I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian.
Rastas.
Yeah.
Talking about money.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's fine.
So, we've been really talking about, rather skimming over, you see how you'd mention MMFs, but we've talked about MMFs before.
Yes.
You get? You'd mention shares, but we've talked about shares before. And this one's for you, Kolo. What's the connecting factor? How is it that we're mentioning MMFs in a topic about unit trust? This is more or less me asking you to talk about the different
levels.
Exactly.
I think we started on it early on, but just for putting everything together, the first point I'd like to get at is all of these things are regulated by the Capital Markets Authority, meaning that the market is called capital markets. Why is it called capital markets? Because businesses need capital, and there's only two ways businesses get capital. Either they get equity or debt. Same as you ukitaka kuanza biashara, ni either utatumia pesa yako as equity ama shares, ama you'll borrow money from financial institutions or your friends. Unajua kuna different ways to borrow money. Nonetheless, any business needs capital. So the nature of all of these products is helping businesses, especially good businesses, with money so that they can achieve their business goals of either growth, and also another thing that's important for you, shareholder wealth maximization. You get? So that is the underlying concept of any product that you will ever find in any financial institution.
More or less everything we've talked to.
Everything. And everything that we'll talk in the future. All of it is all about, that's basically finance. Like if you go to university for 4 years on your undergraduate to do finance, uki learn to that finance is only equity and debt. you've understood the whole of finance. That's basically what finance is. Now the difference is, how do you get the maximum return from your money? And that's what businesses do. Similarly, that's what these institutions in between do. So bringing all this back to now what unit trusts are. Unit trusts are basically collective investment schemes. I'll keep on saying those words because it summarizes everything. It's a scheme, meaning that it's a product, and it collects money from investors so that it can be invested in these businesses. Then these businesses pay back either interest or your revenue, or they pay you dividends, or even they grow in terms of their asset classes. So under unit trust, once they pull this money from investors, they now they ask themselves, what can we put this money in? So let's say, for example, Britam, Britam unit trust, they pull this money together. Now they need to decide how we're going to what are we going to put this money in. So let's create a product. There's a product known as the Britam Money Market Fund. Britam Money Market Fund product will invest in liquid assets, because money markets are for liquidity. Liquid assets are treasury bills, because treasury bills are basically less than 1 year. Unajua, there's fixed deposits. Ukienda kwa bank useme, put my money and I want a savings interest, utakupea 5%. But if I'm Britam and I'm coming with 10 billion, utanipea interest rate mzuri. They also invest in things like commercial papers. Basically, they're called highly liquid short-term paper assets. Now, another product under our Britam unit trust is we can create something known as Britam Equity Fund. The Equity Fund, all this money that is in this fund basically goes into buying stocks in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, stocks in the Ugandan Securities Exchange, or even TZ. And then they also invest in international.
Interesting. So if I want to trade in TZ, I can more or less just go to
Britam.
Okay,
Remember what Thomas was saying, diversification. So when you put your money in this pooled investment scheme, they put it in different products. So even if they're buying equities, it means that they're buying maybe the top 10 that are performing in Kenya, top 3, and then maybe like 4 or 5 which have growth potential. But then they have financial analysts that do this mathematics. So by the time they're investing, you are assured your return. So I've talked about money market fund as a type of unit trust. I've talked about equity fund as a type of unit trust. There's also another one known as bond fund. So Britam Bond Fund. Yeah, Britam, please, my guys, I'm doing so much.
You'll see quarter 2.
Literally.
They share how much they earn. It goes up like this.
Yeah, so there's Britam Bond Fund. So bond fund, what they invest is government bonds, corporate bonds, both locally, and depending on the organization, they also have international exposure at times. So basically what happens is that utapata maybe a cement factory in Tanzania, I think Savannah Cement, inataka ku expand into Kenya by kununua Bamburi. Hawana do. What do they say? Let's just a corporate bond. Then now they get money from the public. Then they pay back pole pole. So there's different types of bonds. It's not just government bonds. But then they invest in local. Most times utapata ni government bonds. This is my infrastructure bonds because they're almost tax free. Then the last type of unit trust is called a balanced fund. And a balance is basically a balance between those three. So you get, if it's a pie chart,
it more or less spreads out how much you put in across the...
Actually, depending on the organization, unaweza pata the balance fund 50% is safe bonds. Ama unajua gavani risk free.
Hataki ku...
Unaweza pata 10% ni equities, alafu the rest ni commercial papers. Unaget. But sasa hizi zingine, it's more centered on the other things. So unit trust ni vitu 3. Eka pesa stocks, eka pesa bonds, eka pesa paper assets, or a combination of them in a balance fund. So it's equity fund, bond fund, money market fund, and then a balance fund.
When I was doing the history research, I saw something that I didn't understand. That's why I omitted it. But you may mention, and I don't know if it's connected. Do some of these unit trusts offer some instruments that might not be like... Might not be part of
those 4.
Yeah.
So that's why connect to Mansa X special fund. Hii yenye ilitoa scandal juzi last 3 years ago ya Saiton high yield fund. Ile walikuwa invest in real estate.
Because I saw the biggest I don't know if it's the biggest returns. Ama the largest market yenye most of these unit trusts are noticing are the ones that are investing in dollar accounts.
Yeah.
That's what I saw, and I didn't understand what it meant, and I didn't know where to place it amongst the four that you've explained, for example.
So that one would most probably be under equity fund. So what happens is that CC as Britam, we see that there's opportunity in UK or US markets. And this fund that is there, can we invest a portion of it in buying Tesla? Or buying Facebook? That time ili convert to Meta ikakuwa very low.
Yeah.
You get, so that's how they do it. They can also invest in nini. So maybe just to add on to that, remember what this whole thing is. Businesses need
Capital.
Capital is in
Capital market.
all of these instruments basically put money on that market, and then it can be used differently. So that's why you'd find even there's things such as the special funds. Utapata kuna Mansa X special fund, kuna Oak special fund. Okay, I think it's by Faida Investment Bank. So like Faida Investment Bank have a product known as Oak Special Fund. Oak Special Fund gives you 20%.
Is it something that's worth its own episode, the special fund? Like, is it that different?
Yes, because you see now, even like I think we talked about this doing even our research. This guy called Stan Agicho anasemanga money market funds is not an investment. It's because you're chasing with 10 and 15%. Ask yourself, if someone is giving 15%, how much return are they getting? You get.
Okay, yeah.
So ukiangalia that unapata there's different types of special funds that also have international exposure. Like Faida Investment Bank gives you 20%, but by a minimum entry ni 500 RAC, and then you can only top up 50k on top of that. 20% is a lot of cash if you think about it.
That's a lot.
20% of 500,000 is around 100k. Sindio, meaning that ukika 500k leo tuko July, eka July size 500k. By the end of July the next year utakuwa na 520 on your 500, meaning that in 5 years ushafika so sita. Unaget na hiyo sija account if you're investing the interest return. 500k ni pesa kidogo. Let's imagine you have 10 million. 20% of 10 million is 2 million, meaning after every, so leo kama uko na 10m, in a year's time 10m yako ni 12m, unaweza spend 2 mil for free. You get, no, let me blow your mind. Relax. Imagine your Britam. Relax. I'm sorry. Imagine your Britam. Britam tumesoma hapo, si umesema Sanlam sijui pata 18
point
no, well, it was 90 billion.
Yeah.
90 billion. Let's assume Britam wamesota wako na 10 billion. Eka 10 billion on something that gives you 20%. That's 2 billion a year.
Yeah.
So even these guys invest in each other depending on like the
considering they also have experts doing the same analysis. They know where these opportunities are. Unaget. So they'll invest in the same products, then offer different prices. Nikama, it's like us. We can't sell a jacket for a G because it's expensive to make, to produce. Unajua? So imagine if all of us are using the same raw materials. See, all of us are getting the price are the same. So Sita was a X amount and her person was a different amount. So it's the same thing for this thing. They put their money in this capital market. Then big businesses come and say, we need this cash for biashara. Tutawapea 40%. Unajua, nyinyi mko na 40% kama Britam. Taipa invest ngapi, acha tumpe 10. 30% ni operations zetu. You get. So it's more or less that primarily. That's a big. So even special funds, the only special thing about them is the nature of what they invest in. It's not just a local exposure. Okay. You also have international exposure whereby on top of the interest rate that you're getting paid, kuna kitu inaitwa currency. The conversion rate. Like if the dollar gains 10% on Kenyan shilling, that's 10% on if you have $1, you've gained 10% without even doing anything.
Much more with that goes
down.
Exactly. However, you see, that's why there's experts managing your money. Basically, unit trust is you put your money with guys wenye wameenda wakafanya degree hadi masters.
Kina Kolo. Finance gurus. Kina finance gurus.
I'm honored that you would think of me. Let me tell you, the best analysis I can do for you guys? I could probably price all of the NSC businesses.
Yeah. You see what you mean?
But
That's a guru thing.
But there's a unit in finance known as equity pricing. Like it's models that exist. There's experts and gurus who created these models. So I can give you like a rough estimate. But as a financial analyst, wanafanya hiyo rough estimate every day.
Depends on their life.
Modest. But anyway, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
We've said so many nice
buy
things.
Britam and buy Britam shares.
This episode is brought to you by Britam, guys.
Britam.
Well, we've said so many nice things about unit trust.
Yes.
This whole episode. But
It's nice.
It's nice. Watu kwanza ulisema ati boring finance is the best. No, finance is never boring.
I don't know why you're quoting that.
Finance is never boring.
Just because we have a talk show and we are talking about things doesn't mean you should quote me.
Are you bored? Are you bored?
No.
Eh?
No. Let me tell you.
Unajua tume break dance. You want me to break a sweat?
No. If they knew. If they knew how hot the conversation be getting over here. But anyway, I feel like there's also a lot of a reason why we're even having this topic is the demystifying aspect of it. A lot of this show is demystifying.
Yeah.
And to me, if you can, I'm noticing we've really eaten up the time.
Very slowly. I take my time.
Just take as long as you need.
Yeah, just take.
In fact, act like we haven't done the past 50 minutes worth of conversation.
Yeah.
So it started when I was 2 years old. I'm joking. Let me actually give you pointed common risk and misconceptions that come along with unit trust. And the first one is about the interest rates, and we've been talking so much about the interest rate. And just now, Kolo has told you guys about how the interest rate is divided in terms of it being in the unit terms from the money market funds to the equity fund, and there's the bond fund.
The balance
And
fund.
the balance fund.
Yeah, it's
And
between
those-
10 and 15 in the Kenyan market.
Yeah, and all of them, they normally give you different, especially
Yeah. Money market might give you the lowest. That's when unazidi on your phone nakupea 7. A balance fund is a bit more balanced, so it will give you slightly higher than money market because it gives you more exposure to these things. Equity fund, you might find it's highest. Then bond fund, 13% hapo tu.
So you see, that's one thing. When you're investing in it, you should be aware where your money is being put in. Is it being put in the money market fund? And if it is, what are the reasons for it? Are they putting it in the bond fund? There are reasons for it. Another thing is management fee. There is a management fee of 1 to 2%.
Of what? Let's see if you can be specific.
Often annual fees of, I think, the interest, including the interest, because they sum it up. Everything is summed up at the end of the year, and then from there your interest rate, you'll see whatever you've gotten.
Lower withholding tax, 10%
in
enough
a-
management.
yes.
It's just fees to handle your money.
So the interest rate is different depending on the person. If I've put in, for example, 1 million Kenya shillings, and say depending on what they invested in, I made 11% interest this year. Means I not specifically Britam. 2%. That's now the management fee. So
what you'll find, most times tukisema MMF ni 10%, in reality ni kama 16. Yeah, kwa hiyo 16 toa withholding tax, toa management fees, net of all of fees utapata ni something like 11.3 for Sanlam. You get for Britam 10.
Britam. Misconceptions. Now, misconceptions are basically things that you're told, but that are they true or not true? People believe are true, but they're not true. Yeah. So one is a lot of people believe that unit trust is for rich people. Me, I'm rich personally. If you believe that, then thank you. But joking, guys. Okay, to bring you back, youth, come back.
Carry, guys. Him.
Okay, no. To be honest, it's not. I'm in the unit trust because I'm able to invest in the money market fund, and I'm still getting my interest in it. I don't have to be necessarily a billionaire to invest. I'm investing my 10 bob a day, my 20 bob, my 100 bob a day. So you see, it doesn't. That's a false statement to make people believe in.
You don't
it.
need 1 million to start.
Exactly,
investing in a unit
and
trust.
unit trust.
But it would be
are
nice to have a million.
It would be nice. You can have 1 million in invest.
If you have 1 million, please start. And the other one is it's just like a saving bank. No, it's not. No, it's not. This thing is earning you interest per day, depending on the trust, or per month. It's very different. It's an investment firm. It's basically you're investing. Savings account, unaweka pesa kwa savings, unapata interest how much?
5%.
5% in how long?
Alafu unajongea 5% bank unaekanga star. So ni
Inaweza
between
kuwa-
1 to 5
Ah,
wanaamua.
yeah.
Damn.
There are things that literally give you the right amount.
No one should put money in a bank unless you use for transactions.
I mean, if a bank wants to sponsor us, then clearly you should put all of your
We
money
will
in a bank.
transact into the Unifund with the
To
bank.
become the bank money and youth show.
You know, the only reason you should have a bank account is so that you can set up things like standing orders, so that in cash you can get into your investments. That
Yes.
20, the budgeting principle, 50.
Unless they sponsor us. Indio.
Yes, if they sponsor us,
If you sponsor
everyone should have
The
100%
bank is the
money in
trust.
the bank.
We believe in
Just
banks.
trust the bank.
Bank 24/7. And the last one is once I invest, I don't have to check anything. That's a lie. Okay, I had that habit when I started with ZD. I wasn't checking. Because, you've already put money there. You say, okay, money is going to be. But that's a lie. Mind you, interest rates also vary because the market, not the capital market, but how the market is, the place, the environment you're in. Sasa venye tulikuwa na maandamano, back to it, things were tough. That might have affected some areas. The interest rate must have
Yeah,
fluctuated.
because remember, this money goes to businesses. So
Yeah.
if business are not operating for a day,
It's all kind of connected at the end. of
the economy will be impacted.
So you should always check on your interest rate, on your investments, basically. All your investments, just not the
Like,
units.
be your number one financial advisor
Be
to some degree.
Actually, if you can have like an updated list of your accounts and you update that daily or monthly or weekly,
Yeah.
it'd be nice.
So, our last talking point for the day, and this one can keep it short and sweet. Now that we know that it's an instrument, I have 1 million Kenya shillings.
Oh, nice.
Kare, I don't have 1 million Kenya shillings. I would like to invest this cash in a unit trust. Let's say Britam, for no particular reason.
No, for no reason we're mentioning
No particular reason.
no reason specific.
No specific
Understood.
reason. Just Britam. The best option out there currently that I'm thinking of right now as a millionaire
Britam.
It's Britam.
is Britam. How should I do this? How should I start?
Okay. If you want to do any of these financial investments, it's easiest to enter to Google andika Britam money market fund. Ama uende Google uandike Britam equity fund.
Angalia zote. Just
Ama uende Google uandike Britam balance fund.
you can replace Britam with Sanlam, CIC.
Awe, Sanlam.
all of them.
Sanlam.
All of them.
CIC. Britam.
Old UAP, Old Mutual. But they have a really nice building. It has lights at night. Oh wow!
Britam. Not because you
Britam
want
doesn't have a nice
sponsorship.
building. They have a nice building.
Britam in Upile. Land is $1 billion in Upile. Where's Sanlam?
Westlands.
Okay. But it's not $1 billion.
No, it's not. It's
not
not.
a
It's
million.
definitely.
Yeah, but like I said, the easiest way to do these things, just Google them. If you go to Britam website for equity fund, there's a form that you fill, then you can be able to sign up. For example, if you want to choose any of them, like the easiest one I know that you just need an app easily in Zimele. Just go to Zimele, Zimele money market fund, go there and sign up. And to sign up, as long as you're over 18, all you need is your ID and KRA pin and maybe a bank account or M-Pesa. This means that the M-Pesa is where you'll be depositing cash ukipata interest, where they'll be sending you money, or your bank account. If you have $1 million, interest yako inza kuwa pesa mingi, they'd rather just do a real-time gross transfer to your bank account.
Guys,
Yeah.
real-time gross transfers. peke
Real-time
yake.
gross transfers,
Sana
RTGS.
zingine, hizi zingine ni pesa ndogo.
Yeah, so that's basically it. As long as you're over 18, uko na ID, KRA pin na bank account, just go Google and then sign up. And depositing cash is very easy. With M-Pesa and a paybill account, you can
And
start
money.
And money. Key point. You can easily just deposit from as little as a sock for Zimele. I know CIC money market with 5 sock. CIC is 5,000. ICA Lion is 500 bob. So depending on which one you choose and how you sign up, you can even get more information. Just go to the website. They're all available. 10 to 15%, guys.
So, guys, it was an amazing episode. Really enjoyed it. I've learned a lot during the episode. So, I don't know what the viewer is going to go through. Do you guys have parting shots before we conclude everything? Start with Tome then.
Mine is for young creatives and entrepreneurs in Kenya. Unit Trust offer a smart, accessible, and low barrier way to begin a journey towards financial freedom. Remember, financial freedom has always been the goal. With the right mindset, a basic understanding of how they work, and consistency. Most importantly, consistently putting money in. Creatives can build wealth passively while focusing on their craft. Uko hapo tao, unapiga picha, in your bank you have a 10,000 that is in geared easily. Would you like sorry about that. Lastly is, as much as we are knowledgeable or have given you guys knowledge on how to invest in them, I would advise you go to these particular companies, unit trusts, such as UMP, Sanlam,
Britam.
Go to them. They will open to you. They'll give you more open investing ways and knowledge that you might need. That
They'll tell them more that we haven't
they
said.
haven't,
If
you
you-
know.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, yeah.
That's actually good, man. It's actually had a party shot. Kolo, you have to top that.
I've topped that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Go to Google, go to Britam. Hey, yo, but yeah, Britam was
50 bob,
sponsored.
share price yao.
NSC
NSC leo jioni.
inapanda Britam. So I think for me, I think this parting shot is more or less adjacent to every single episode we've done since we started this financial series, or even just in general. If every dollar you earn, you spend $1, the moment you stop earning rather,
You don't have anything.
you don't have anything. And even on top of that, you might have to replace that dollar with debt. And you end up seeking yourself in financial troubles. So with that in mind, hata kama una 20k, 30k, 40k, 100, 300,000, 400,000, well in. But if you spend all that cash, at the end of the month, there's nothing for you to actually stay with. You'll always be employed, or you'll always be working for someone else. Why not put a portion of that cash somewhere that it can be working for you? Because all of these things we talk about are all the same things. We're putting money to earn for you more money. And after maybe like 10 years, you won't need money from other people because your money pays you the same salary. Like it's a game of salary replacement at the end of the day. And it's easier when you start with these things because money markets are easy to start with. That's when you 10%. Special fund need 20%, but you need $500,000. Before you reach $500,000, you could be saving in your small money market, in your bond fund, in your equity fund, pole as it's growing. Then when you reach your 500K, you put that into a special fund, it's earning for you 20%. These are soldiers. They're every day fighting for you. So that's my parting shot. If you spend all your money at the end of the month, you're left with zero bob, you're not doing anything. You'd rather just put if I can eat 10% of your income, knowing that 10% will pay school fees for my kids.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's beautiful.
These guys have literally taken... I was about to say everything that they've said, but now... I know
No, it's your time to say your
No,
parting
it's
shot.
my time. It's my time, Thomas. Stop. So, I think for me, parting shot, yangu, just like always, is say thank you. Say thank you to you guys. So 21 is amazing. Talking about unit trust. Whoever knew. We didn't even say whoop whoop.
Yeah, man.
Can we just say it for the... Oh, wow. Yes. I had like a hole. Yeah, exactly. There's a void somewhere there. But yeah, it's amazing doing this. It's amazing seeing the show grow. Seeing it grow with my friends. Seeing us rocking different TDC pieces every time we do it. TDC pieces, if you would like to get yourself one, go to www.truedenimcollection.com, check out the different pieces and leave a message. We'll be able to help you out. But yes, seeing this, it's just amazing. So it's thank you to you guys. Thank you to the amazing production team at Second to None and Spiderweb. You guys are doing amazing things. You have made us feel at home here at this beautiful studio. Endeleeni kufanya kenye mnafanya. And if anyone wants to do what we are doing, we didn't go to school to talk about what we are talking about. We didn't go to school to more or less do what we are doing. Just come to the studio and try it out. The team will be very sure to help you out and get you sorted. Finally, I just want to tell you that anyone can become rich. Anyone and everyone has the capacity to grow wealth. Anyone and everyone can be that first billionaire in their family. We are all here actively trying to do that. And if you join us and be with us on this journey, I'm very confident that you do the same. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Toot.